Mother, man.
You're listening to Brutal Rewind, brought to you by your friends at Murder Metal Mayhem. We take a topic we've already covered, hog-tie it, put a ball gag in its mouth, and throw it head first into a wood chipper. What comes out is our new twist on the subject. Brutal Rewind is exclusively brought to you by Shaker's Cigar Bar in Milwaukee, the most haunted bar in the United States. Book a ghost tour at Shaker's today at hangmantours.com. And now, here's your Brutal Rewind. Well, there you go. Brutal
Shit,
Rewind.
just ate my cassette, bro.
Yeah, I haven't hit rewind in a while. But we're doing a Brutal Rewind tonight. We're doing Brutal Rewind number 5 here at Horns Eye Studios, of course. A different format than our usual episode if you haven't heard one of these before. So a little short and condensed version. Got Chris and Joey here.
What's up?
And
Hail Satan.
Steph is hanging out from Toledo, Ohio.
Yep.
419.
Yeah.
She came in
419
to hang out with us, but she's just here hanging out. She's not going to be called upon. I'll leave her alone. But how's it going, Joey?
Let me get this ball gag out of my mouth. And I'll tell you. Not bad, man. Yeah. Not
Cool.
Sitting here on a Tuesday like we usually do, but
Yeah,
a little bit different.
Doing a little different thing. Chris, you doing all right over there?
I'm doing pretty all right, man.
Good, good. Well, I'm doing fine too, and we got Brutal Rewind 5. It's a shorter version of our usual. We take a topic we've already done and kind of give you an update on it. And amazing, Brutal Rewind number 4 is still the number 2 most listened to episode of ours on Richard Crafts,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
fucking
crazy. But who knows? Maybe this one, Brutal Rewind 5, will be number 1. We don't know.
Sam Little.
Tonight, though, a good one. As you just said, Chris, we're doing a
Sam fucking Little.
pretty sick motherfucker, serial killer, considered to be the most prolific. We'll talk about it. Originally covered him in episode 79 back in December of 2019. And there has been some news about him, so we thought it would be worth doing this again and bringing his nasty ass back. Drifter killer, Joey.
That's fucked up. That was over a year ago. Already.
I know.
Like, it didn't seem like that one was that long.
No.
No,
it didn't
I
at
was
all, dude.
surprised too as I
Yeah.
scrolled through them. I'm like, man, I'm looking at all of them. I'm like, God damn, there's a lot of shit here.
Right.
That's crazy. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But I think, Joey, this is your first Brutal Rewind?
Pretty positive. Yeah, I think this is the first one I've said.
Yeah, I was trying to think, and it's funny.
It's hard to tell because I've fucking done a ton with you
I
guys.
It's
know,
been almost
dude.
a year now.
Well, and even before
Even
that,
before
I had
that, yeah.
done
You had been in
a
here
couple
before.
dozen probably, you know,
At
or maybe not
least.
that long, but, you know, a lot.
No, for sure.
It was like, holy shit, like,
I know.
did I do that one? Did I not?
I
Yeah,
know. It's
it's
hard to
rough.
remember, and I flipped through them. I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. Oh, shit, I forgot about that one.
But anyway, I do believe that, yeah, this is the first one I've done with you guys.
That's cool. Huge thanks to Shaker's Cigar Bar for sponsoring the Brutal Rewind shows. Shaker's is amazing up in Milwaukee. We've talked about him so many times. Chris had a good time up there
Never
all
a
the
dull
time.
moment when you're at Shaker Cigar Bar, man.
No,
The place
and
is
get
fucking
Bob out
happening.
there making the food, bringing the drinks.
Fucking right.
Smoking the stogies. It's pretty awesome. Great food and drink. An amazing place.
Great atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, it's so cool. So go check out Shaker's.
And Stephanie
Cigar
went up there
bar.
with her sisters.
She
and
did,
They
and-
rocked the Mermill Man fucking
Yeah, they were there for 2
custom shirts.
nights up there. So that was
Oh, yeah.
awesome. That was awesome. Bob's was very complimenting of you guys and just was really happy that, you know, listeners going and checking out these places we talk about. So that's very cool. And they do paranormal tours there. They do the Jeffrey Dahmer walking tour. They do seances. They do all sorts of things. So shakerscigarbar.com or book a tour at hangmantours.com. You definitely will not be sorry. And thanks again, Bob, for sponsoring these. So Brutal Rewinds are short, so let's get to it, Chris.
Fucking right.
Samuel Little is patiently waiting to be discussed once again.
I
So,
guess he was pretty patient. I mean, all the time he went through doing shit, he had some patience.
yeah, I mean, and just the sheer numbers of this guy are fucking staggering. But he
For real.
recently died. So we thought it would definitely be a good one to cover since it'd been, over a year since we did it.
Which was funny because we were sitting here doing a podcast and I got a text from somebody, remember?
Yeah.
Or I got a message on
That
my
he
Facebook.
died.
They're
Yeah.
like, man, Sam Little just died.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
So
when
we're
I
like,
was at home on lockdown.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, on lockdown. So for those of you that may not know who Sam Little is, let's talk about just some of the basics so we know who we're talking about here.
Golden State Killer, too.
Yes.
If you didn't know him by his real name, maybe you heard of that in the news recently.
That's true.
So same guy we're talking about.
Right. Samuel Little was convicted in 2012 for the murders of 3 women in California between 87 and 89. Plus, he was convicted of killing a woman in Texas in 1994. He confessed to killing as many as 93 women, but the police have linked him to about 60.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
That's a lot, man. A drifter killer for sure, killing victims in at least 19 states. That is fucking insane. The FBI has confirmed his involvement with at least 50, and if that's the case, then we know he surpasses Gary Ridgway.
Green River is fucking. He done
49.
got pushed down second
Pulled
place.
a chessboard on him.
Fucking
man.
right, he did. He's
Checkmate,
like, I'm gonna
bitch.
beat this motherfucker.
Did you see that fucking? I'm sure I can't remember if you guys talked about it, but fucking Willie Picton.
Oh, yeah.
When they fucking bugged his cell after he got arrested, and he was talking to that cop.
Oh, yeah.
And he was talking about, I was going to get more than that guy down in the United States. And he was,
I do remember that.
He said something like 43 or something like that, but it was
Oh,
still,
wow.
it was fucked up hearing him say that. Like,
That is
I was
fucked
going
up.
to, he was like, I only needed one more, but I got sloppy for 50,
Nice. Well, something with Picton too. Somebody shared with me, I think it was today on Facebook, about a book that he wrote.
Oh.
That it was like written by him, but through somebody else because of the laws and stuff.
Right.
And once Amazon got wind of it, they took it down. But I'm like, I would have loved
That's
to
awesome.
see about finding that motherfucker.
Hell yeah,
That'd probably
dude.
be pretty good.
Got dark web that shit.
So, Chris, it's crazy to think that Little had more than Green River Killer with 50, but I mean, he's got the title. What do you think, man?
I think, like, with all the confirmation from like in the FBI, the cops, and everything, and his memory of when he does his drawings and he draws them out, and the family members are able to recognize their daughter or whatever just through his drawings and his memory, and he states places where the bodies are and surroundings around, like landmarks around where they are, and they actually find these people there. I mean, I have no doubt he's lying. I don't think he's anything like fucking Henry Lee Lucas, where he's just making shit up.
I think it's legit.
I think he's legit, straight up. Like, I did this. I might as well give some closure to people or something.
Right. Yeah, it's fucked up. Joey, definitely one of the interesting things, as Chris points out, is the portraits.
Yeah.
As an artist, I mean, that's pretty tough to draw people, especially like Chris mentioned, people distinctive enough that a family member would recognize.
Right.
That's pretty awesome, man.
And there were a couple different serial killers. I believe BTK sketched some of his.
I think you're right.
And I mean, that's as creepy as it gets. But they're talking about Samuel Little, and to link him here to Illinois, one of the sketches he drew was supposed to be a 26-year-old black woman from Granite City, Illinois. Here,
Oh, wow.
that they said possibly was named Joe. The FBI was still trying to authenticate that, as well as a second homicide in East St. Louis that Sam Little was supposed to be attributed to also. So, I mean, this guy's got, 90-something homicides and shit. And Illinois is just one of them hot spots. You might as well get a couple kills here, too.
I mean, it's
Right.
fucking Midwest, bro.
But and that's what's fucked up, too, is because you got a killing in East St. Louis, and there's so many homicides. Like, per capita, as small as that
East
city
St. Louis is really
one of
bad.
the worst. Yeah,
It is.
And there's bodies in the fields down there and everything else, and it's like, damn, man, how did you even fucking connect him to this to begin with?
Right.
Probably something that he had left behind.
Wow.
Dude, one of my favorite quotes, one of my friends used to say all the time, he'd be like, you know how many oil fields there are in Southern Illinois? We're like, fuck no. He's like, yeah, neither do the cops.
Yeah. So that's interesting with the tie to the Midwest, too.
Yeah.
Of course, he started in Ohio is where his
Exactly.
shit fucking went down.
419, bitch.
That's right. No, he was up by Cleveland, but yeah, that's funny. Painting portraits of his victims, definitely very unique, especially as we said, that the fact that they were so accurate.
Yeah. Really, he was a good artist.
He really was. He really was. So a long span, though, 1971 to 2005. That's fucking crazy.
Of course, he had the power of law enforcement on his side, really.
Right.
Because working as law enforcement. Or,
No, you're talking about Golden State.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting them fucking mixed here. Yeah.
I was like, law enforcement, not Sam Little. So that's more than 30 years, man. And Akron, Ohio is where one of the victims was identified by the portraits. Chris, he did have a girlfriend, though, Jean, that was with him for quite a while. And I think I had seen something where she was suspected as being a little more of an accomplice than he let on.
I couldn't imagine she wasn't that long being around. Like,
yeah, how are you with him that much?
That much. I feel like she probably knows more than she's talking or he said or anything like that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, she's been dead for a long time, but I think he didn't want to sully her name by saying she wasn't involved, but I think she really was. Or Joey, do you think it might have been the bravado of some of these killers where, he wants to say it was all him,
Right. I mean, he didn't really seem like he was too concerned with his kill count. I'm like, he acknowledged that he did a lot, but he didn't seem like
he wasn't trying
overly
for a
proud
record.
and trying to rub it in the faces. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel like Chris said, I think a lot of what he did towards the end was to get the closure for some of the other people. But I mean, you still got to wonder. You never know, because somebody's doing this and you're basically playing God, and you're doing it that many fucking times. Like, your mind has got to be somewhere different than a normal person's in respect to what you believe and think you can get away with, I guess.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's a possibility.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Now, I did read in November of 2020, which would be a month before he passed, Sam Little confessed to 2 Florida murders, one of which a guy had been wrongfully convicted. So
now, did this guy
that's some shit.
Get out of prison, or is he still in there?
I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything beyond that. Somebody had been wrongfully convicted. I would assume he's out.
I would imagine he got out, and he probably got a settlement out of it. Because if he had died in there, I think like the press would have fucking reported on that.
Because Florida, man, they're like Texas, man. They crank them out. Know? So.
You know what's fucked up is when I was fucking up earlier talking about Golden State Killer.
Right.
Now we're talking about whenever I was looking this up for the Sam Little fucking rewind, I pull up fucking Lonnie Franklin, who was the Grim Sleeper.
Right,
from LA around the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
So it's funny that I kept getting these ones mixed up.
They overlap, man.
Yeah.
We've done that before, I know, more than once. So now, Joey, a month after the confession of the murders in Florida, he dies December 30th, 2020.
Yeah.
At a hospital in Los Angeles. As far as I know, the state of California hasn't actually said the cause of death, but he did have diabetes, heart problems, and other issues. And then I also heard COVID. I don't know if you heard. He was 80, but I just wonder if you knew anything more.
No, and as a matter of fact, I don't think anywhere that I look, it's never been fully confirmed. I saw a couple articles talking about this will be an ongoing investigation and keep you updated on autopsy report. I even saw that in one thing from, I think, LA Times or something.
Yeah, because it hasn't even been a month.
And it's weird because you would think that, I mean, that would be some kind of public knowledge to this point. Or, but I don't know. Really, I mean, the dude was fucking old as shit. He was fucking locked up for the rest of his life. He was on his way out.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Anyway,
it didn't really matter, but no, it was curious. And then I did see, I only saw it in like 1 or 2 spots, but where they tried to link it possibly to COVID, which I thought was like, okay, fucking he died of COVID.
Of course they're going to, that'll be what it is.
Right, yeah. That's definitely a suspected thing, is that the numbers are kind of hyped up. But an interesting side note, I know I mentioned this when we covered the story before, but my sister-in-law, Sarah Goldenberg, she's an investigative journalist in Cleveland on Channel 19, and she did a multi-part story on Sam Little since he was originally from that area of Ohio. And so I had heard about him before, but I think it was something I saw on Facebook, and I was like, is it a clickbait or what? So I never fucked with it. But then she was telling me about it, and I was like, wow, that's legit, and there were
Yeah,
quite
you got
a
a
few
journalist
cases
fucking
around
going on
there.
it, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what she does. I mean, she broke the VA story in Phoenix where all those patients died. She
Yeah.
broke that, which is what got her the promotion and where she is now. But anyway, she was telling me about it because she did this multi-part story. So check the episode description. I'll try to link to that if I can find it. It's really good. It's like a 3-part, like 10-minute clips,
Right.
but it was excellently done. And it goes through a lot of the cases, but the ones up in that area. So pretty cool. But I'll try to link to that in the episode description. But Chris, Joey, I mean, anything you guys want to add to this
I don't
story?
think so. I think I'm good,
I
man.
thought it was a good update on this.
Good rewind.
I had to bring it up. He just passed. I mean, he was in the news again.
Right.
Perfect time.
Exactly. And I think, if you're interested in this case, go back and listen to episode 79 that we did on Samuel Little. There have been some updates since, but we covered, a lot of the stuff and the, just brutality and the fact that, we've talked about the drifter killers before. It's one of our favorites. Just because
you
the
never know
cases
where
are
they're
nuts.
going to go. Yeah, they're insane.
Yeah, and like with Henry Lee and Otis, I mean, you got all that going on. But
We got to do Robert Ben Rhodes, though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that would be a good one. So definitely appreciate Bob and Shaker Cigar Bar for sponsoring
Bob,
the Brutal Rewind. And go to shakerscigarbar.com to book a tour. Also, you can go to hangmantours.com. Don't forget to check out murdermetalmayhem.com to listen to all our past episodes. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you could support the show. We always talk about it, Joey, the 666
Club.
Go to patreon.com/murdermetalmayhem and join. Only $3 a month, Chris. That's a pretty good deal.
That's not expensive at all, dude.
No.
I spend more than that on a pack of cigarettes every goddamn day.
Oh, I can imagine.
It's ridiculous.
Dude. How much are they now, a pack?
I don't know, like fucking $7.50.
God damn.
I know, it's fucking retarded.
I don't
dude.
miss it, man. I don't miss it at
Jump
all.
on that Patreon because we got the full episode of Dahmer, full episode of
Ramirez.
and tonight, the same night we're doing this Brutal Rewind, we're going to do one for Al Capone.
Right.
So if you want to hear
That's the
that
only way you
shit,
want to hear
Yeah,
it.
for $3 a month, you can hear all 3 of those.
Plus
just
all the other
right
stuff.
out of the box. A lot of interviews we've done just on Patreon. So thanks, everybody, for checking out this Brutal Rewind, and we'll see you next time. Brutal Rewind.
Mother, man.